Hello, everyone. How are you doing today? And how was your week? I'm Neetu Chaudhary, and I'm always happy to hear your stories and what's going on in your life and what's your plan for future. Welcome to Friday's Story. Those who are joining for the first time, I'll just brief you. Friday's Story is a series where I come do the live session on LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube, and later I post on Spotify and other places as well. For where I share my personal stories, especially the stories which had the potential to make me more aware about myself and change the course of my life. And that inspired me. So I share these stories on every Friday. For so long time I'm doing it, and I get so many messages from everyone. So I'm so happy to share that with you. So welcome to Friday's Story. Today's story is very special. Please write in comments from where you're joining, and I'll be happy to answer that. Like, I reply to you and see your messages. So, I was telling that today's story is so special to me because it happened so many years back. Of course, I'm not that old, but still. It happened long back, but it is so impactful, so profound that I just don't miss a chance to talk about it. So, like, let's get started with it. By the time you're writing in comments, let's get started with the story. And yeah, I'm getting a lot of messages. So please tell me that how do you find these Friday stories interesting, or you want to share some of your stories? Please write in comments, and please join for the Monday motivational audio live session, which I'm just experimenting with different times. So yeah, sometimes it's an early morning, sometimes it's an afternoon time. But please watch this space for Monday motivation audio event on LinkedIn. So let's get started with our Friday story. This story happened long back. I think maybe I was around 7 or 8 year old, but definitely younger than 10 year old. So I was that, and I was coming back from somewhere to my home, and while walking, I saw I was on the like it's there was a small road, I should call a very small street was there. I was walking on the one side of the street, and while walking, I observed that one elderly person was walking on other side, and he was not like he was looking very poor, and he was having a stick in his hand and a bag. And when I observed him for some time, so I just slowed down a little bit and I started walking slow. And when I looked at him, and I felt that I observed that he's a blind person, and he's having difficulty in seeing, because he was just walking diagonally, and I was a bit afraid. I was so young that I did not have the courage to go and help him, but I could feel that some restlessness I could feel. It's like something like the mirror neurons. What he was experiencing, I started feeling that one. So yeah, I just slowed down my pace, and I was walking with him, and I was just observing him, looking the other side of the street. And then I observed that he was walking diagonally, and he was about to there was a drainage line going on the side of street, and he was about to reach that end, and then he may fall. I was a bit afraid. So I just stood there, and I was like thinking, oh God, what am I going to do about it? And I was too young. I did not know how to approach this situation, but something deep inside my heart was telling that I have to go and help him, but I did not have enough courage that moment. So I was just standing there. I froze, and I was just watching, and people were in between. Like, I'm on the one side of the street, he's on the other side of the street, little ahead of me. And the cycles are going, scooters, sometimes the cars were going. So it was a small city. So the people were going in between, and nobody observed that he was walking there. I was on the other side. So I just stood there, and I was watching him. And he kept on walking diagonally, and eventually he fell in that drainage line which was going. He got hurt. And when he got hurt physically, I got hurt in my heart and my emotionally that day so much. And that wound took really long time, but I'm fortunate that incident happened, because that had the courage, that had the potential to change course of my life. I learned a very profound lesson that day. So when I was standing there, and I froze, and I was full of tears, like it was just flooding, tears was just flooding from my eyes, and I was just froze there, and I was crying. I was crying because of many reasons. The first reason was that that person got hurt, and I was feeling that how it feels when somebody falls down and they get just scratches here and it pains, so I could feel that pain. The second reason was that, which hurted me for really long time, was that I had the capacity to help him. I had the capacity that time to go and stop him, and I could have prevented the hurt which he got, but I did not do that. And I had to make a choice that time, and I chose not to do it. The reason could be anything, because I did not have courage, I was not aware of things, I was scared, whatever it is, but I had the capacity, and I made a choice not to help him that day, and he fell down. And this lesson was so profound for me that I realized, and I made a promise to myself what that day, no matter what, if I see anybody needs help and I'm in capacity to help that person in whatever way, whether I can do it by myself, or I can connect with somebody, or I can guide or mentor, or at least I can pray for that person, 100% I'm going to do that no matter what. There will be situations where you may not have enough resources or enough support to help somebody. That's perfectly fine. Or you may not have enough knowledge also. The first and the most important thing is your intention. The moment you have intention to help somebody, automatically things start falling in place. You start seeing the things which can help you to help that person. And I'll give beautiful example. This reminds me of another story. I was in college, and I think I was in Jabalpur that time. Yeah, I was riding a scooter, and my sister was sitting behind me, and we were going. And it was a two-way street, so there was a barricade with the sharp things on it, and we were going to college. And I was riding scooter. So when I was riding it, I saw. I think few days back there was a festival in India where they decorate cows with some hanging thing on here, like on the horn, and they decorate cows. So there is a festival for it. But sometimes people forget to remove those decorative items which they put for them. And it so happened when I was riding scooter, I saw that one cow's, there was one hanging thing behind, like between her horns, and it got stuck with the one pointy thing in the barricade between two roads. And it was a big road, cars and trucks and everything was going. And while riding scooter, I saw that the cow was struggling because her head was stuck like this, and she was just trying to remove it. And for my college, I had to go straight, but I went straight. I took a U-turn and came, like, turned my scooter. So my sister asked what happened. I said, I'll tell you, just I'm in a bit hurry to do something. And she was confused. Why did I took U-turn when I have to go straight for my college? I took a U-turn, I came back again, I took a U-turn, I stopped my scooter there, and I was terrified. I was terrified because that cow had a very big and sharp pointy horn. So I was a bit terrified to help her, but I had very strong intention that I want to help her. So what should I do? I was just standing there and trying to do, and she was shaking her head, and her horns were coming towards me, so I was a bit scared. But I was just standing there and trying different ways that how can I help. I look for a stick and all that. After 10 minutes of all these struggle happening, and I'm unable to help her, but I have the intention to help her, and my sister's screaming, just go, somebody will come and help her, why you have to do that? And I said, maybe that somebody is me who has to do it, just give me some more time. And she said, cow may hurt you, you don't know how to do, why are you wasting time? And I said, yeah, but she's in pain and I have to do something for it. So somebody was observing all these things happening from across the street, and that person came, he crossed the street, and maybe he was not afraid of cow, he saw that what I'm doing and I'm not able to help the cow. He just took a he with his bare hand, he just removed that thing, and cow got free from that thing, and she just ran away, and she was safe. And I said thank you to him, and he just smiled and went. The point I'm trying to make here is that when you have a strong intention to do something and you stick to it no matter what, like, the intention of helping somebody is so strong that you are ready to wait and persistently waiting for it, and trying all your resources. From somewhere, universe sends somebody to help you and do that thing. So the what I want you to do this weekend and henceforth is that, in any situation, if you come across where you can help somebody with your knowledge, financially, with your moral support, with your words, with your encouragement, by teaching somebody small things, by sharing your knowledge. It could be anything. If you can help somebody with something and you have those resources, those capacity, please do not hesitate, because everyone thinks that somebody will help. Maybe you are that somebody. If you don't help, the other person may not help the person who's in situation. So if there is something which need to be done, do it now. Because if we keep thinking, analysis is paralysis. If we keep thinking and analyzing situation, maybe the time will run away for the other person, like I did that day. I was just standing and thinking and analyzing the situation, and that old person fell down. And what is the use of me feeling hurt after that? I can't go back and go back in time and fix the things. So if you have to do something, do it now. Now is the time. You don't have resources, that's perfectly fine. You have the intention, go ahead with it. You will figure, your brain will figure out resources which you need for it. So I'm happy to share this story with you. Please write in comments, how do you feel? And please write your inspiring stories. I always love to hear from you. Very happy weekend and see you next Friday.